Welcome back everybody to another video. So here you can see we have our Stihl. This one is a Fs91r, and in today's video we're going to be showing you guys how to do a tune-up on it. This is ours. This isn't a customer's or anything, but we have had this for, I'd say, like 2 years or so. And what I've noticed recently is sometimes it wants to bog down, so I'm guessing that the little screen in the carburetor's probably plugged up. So we are going to be removing the carburetor, cleaning that up. We're going to install a brand new spark plug. We'll see how those hoses look. We might install a new primer as well, and maybe an air filter. So we're gonna have to dig into it, see what it looks like. But in today's video, we're gonna be showing you guys how to do a tune-up on a weed eater. So let's get straight to it. Now the first thing that I'm gonna start with is removing these T27 screws holding on the air filter cover. Alright, so here's our first look at the air filter. As you can see, there's some little pieces of grass, but it's nothing too big. It shouldn't affect the engine at all. Now, I am going to mention to you guys, if your weed eater is running really nicely and you don't think you have to clean the carburetor, you don't have to. I would just recommend changing the spark plug with this T27. You just pull off this cover, and probably your fuel filter would be good as well. So yeah. So once you get those two nuts removed, back here you can see there's a little breather hose right there that goes to the air filter, which actually goes in that little hole right there. So you're going to want to remove that as well. And there's our carburetor. So there is also two more lines. In this case, you can't really mix these up because one is shorter than the other. So you're going to want to remove these two fuel lines. And then once you get those fuel lines removed, you're going to want to hook the throttle, which is just right there. You're going to want to pull that out from the actual carburetor. Another really good thing to know is sometimes when you're removing these fuel lines, they still have pressure in them. So when you disconnect them, they shoot gas everywhere. So what I would recommend doing before you unhook them is just open up the gas cap and let out any pressure that's inside the gas tank. That way they don't shoot gas everywhere and make a mess. I also forgot to mention, when you're removing the carburetor, there is going to be one more line at the bottom of the carburetor, which is right there. Alrighty, so I just reinstalled the carburetor. I hooked up all the fuel lines. I hooked up that little air line down there. I hook up the throttle. Here you can see, there's your throttle. I put a brand new primer on it. There you guys see the brand new bulb. And then all I have to do now is reinstall this assembly for the air filter. Now once again, like I said, this air filter is pretty much brand new. All I had to do is blow it out. But if you do have an older weed eater, I would recommend installing a brand new air filter, especially if it looks a lot worse than this. But like I said, I just bought this 2 years ago, so I don't think it's going to need a new air filter. Everything's nicely cleaned out. All those fins are nice and clean. So let's reinstall this. So now that we got that done, we can install a new spark plug. So let's go ahead and remove this cover. Now, most weed eaters do just have a rubber cover on them, but this one has a plastic cover on it. So yeah, you can see this is your spark plug. You're going to want to pull this coil off right here. Just being a little bit stubborn, so you can try some pliers. Once you got that coil plug unplugged, you can grab yourself a spark plug socket. This one is a 5/8, which is pretty much like the smallest one. I think there are some smaller ones though. And you're going to want to get a ratchet on the other end, or you can just get a wrench as well, and you're going to want to loosen that plug. Alright, so unfortunately, I don't have this exact plug. Now, I am going to run to the store later today, and I am going to get the plug for it. But if you are doing a tune-up on these, you are going to want to install a new spark plug. A lot of times you can get them at your dealer, or a lot of local stores have them. A lot of auto parts stores have them. So yeah, you could just run to the store, grab yourself a new spark plug, and then reinstall it back onto your cylinder head. Now, another thing that I am going to recommend is do not over tighten these. These cylinder heads are just aluminum, so you could easily strip out that spot where the spark plug's supposed to go. So yeah, do not over tighten them, just make them snug. Now for the fuel filter, you're going to remove your cap, obviously, and then in there you're going to see a little line with a little sort of fuel filter on it. Let me show you guys one really quick. They're going to look somewhat like this. This is a brand new fuel filter right here. So they're going to look like that. And you're going to want to dig that out with some kind of a tool. Here you can see I got this piece of wire that I just bent to a little hook. And what I do is I hook it in there, pull out that fuel line. But what you can do if you're just a household person, you can grab yourself a clip hanger, something like that, bend it up, and then make yourself a little tool to dig out that fuel filter. Alrighty, guys, take a look at this. This is old versus new. As you guys can see, this is really yellow. That's probably most likely from old fuel when we were storing it in the winter. We normally wouldn't drain out the gas in these or anything, which I do recommend to drain out the gas and run them all the way out of fuel. That way you don't plug up your carburetor. You don't have to spend any more money in the summer. So yeah, it's a big difference. Alrighty, so once you got that fuel filter on, you can just screw on your cap, obviously. And once you're done with that, you're pretty much finished. So that's how to pretty much do a tune-up on any weed eater. Most of them are 2 strokes. 4 strokes are a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to drain out the oil and put some fresh oil in it. But this is a 2-stroke. so it's a little bit easier. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.